What the hell happened in week 10? You start off with a Thursday night thriller between the Bengals and the Ravens. You have a couple wins with two QB performances that were a little shifty. And guess what? KC's still undefeated.
Yes.
Week 10 in a nutshell.
But the Chargers and the Vikings win.
That's right. That's
Woo-hoo.
right. The big things that matter in life. All right. Before we get into it, though, welcome back to another episode of the BuiBros Football Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Quinn Bowie, and I cheer for the LA Chargers. And across from me, my brother Brandon.
And I cheer for, where is it here? The Minnesota Vikings right there. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
All
good
right.
weeks for us.
Week 10. Week 10's in the books.
Mhm.
There's some pretty crazy games going on. Obviously, like you said, Vikings, Chargers get the W. No better feeling than that. But Brandon, why don't we get into it? Let's start off with Thursday night. What an absolute barn burner of a game there. Ravens end up coming out on top 35-34 to beat the Bengals. It was an insane game. Thursday night football has had this moniker of bad football games lately, but that was a good one.
Yeah, they reserved that garbage spot for like the early Sunday slot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, no, this game was insane. I feel like it started out kind of slow, but then all of a
Yep.
sudden, the score like they score 69 points in this game where it could have gone to OT if the Bengals had chosen to do that. They choose to
Right.
go for the win, and it doesn't work out. But that's kind of
Yeah.
I like the play. You got to go for two there. I think it has a higher percent chance of you succeeding than the coin toss, essentially, kind of like the Bucks and the Chiefs 2 weeks ago. The Bucks chose to
Right.
kick it, and they just didn't have a chance in OT and lost. So
Yeah, it's a tough decision for the head coach to especially in that situation where Lamar was just again. I don't know how many weeks in a row now,
mhm.
but after the slow start, he's just been playing at an MVP level. Dare I say, better than his MVP season last year. Throws for 290 and another four touchdowns. I believe he has 24 on the year, which matches
Mhm.
his total season or touchdowns from last season combined, and another 33 on the ground. When he's going up against your defense, everything's going right for them, you got to go for the win there.
Mhm.
And the way it ended, two potentially two missed calls there.
Yeah.
Uh, Tough way to lose, but that is the name of the game, nature of the business.
Yeah,
I agree
well,
with Paul.
and talking about QB performances, Joe Burrow was unreal. His connections with Jamar Chase were amazing. Jamar was like 11, I think 11,
Yeah, 11 receptions for
264.
264 and three.
That's insane. So, they're doing everything that they can to win, and the team is letting them down. I feel like Joe Burrow is having an MVP season, which will be completely unrecognized because his team is so bad,
Yeah.
they're not winning at least, right? So,
Well, it's
you
the
know,
defenses. It seems both of these teams, they're giving up quite a few points,
mhm.
but they're scoring enough to kind of to keep them in contention at least. More so on the Ravens than the Bengals. Bengals moved to 4-6. Ravens up to 7-3. Funny enough, the Chargers next two opponents, Sunday
Nice.
night and Monday night football, back to back
Oh man,
primetime games. It'll be a
crazy.
big challenge.
Yeah, yeah. And then the
Um,
Ravens sweep the Bengals, even though the Bengals scored 38 in their first matchup and 34 in their second. So
and Jamar
sucks to.
Chase, like how many yards did he
Oh
get
yeah,
combined? He crushed them the
yeah.
first go around too.
450 or something like that. 400 and something
Yeah,
yards in two
that's
games. Pretty crazy.
tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Okay. Here's second. What do we got?
Yeah. All right. There we go. So, we'll start with the headline here. LA Chargers. Justin Herbert. He does make history against the Tennessee Titans, where he has the most completions in the first 5 years of a career, and that's with missing some time as well. So shout out to Herb. He's making smart decisions. He's getting his skill positions the ball, and the Chargers are on a roll here. 6-3. Um, beating the Titans. I was overconfident last week. I knew it, but we came out, we dominated all three phases again. What I'm hearing and what I'm reading out there is this Chargers team is very consistent. And so all three phases, Darius Davis gets another big return there in the third. Quentin Johnston, resurgence season. We love it. Love some Q. I believe fifth touchdown in the last 7 games. And so, his sophomore slump is the reverse, a
Mm-hmm.
sophomore surge, if you will. And the defense comes away with 7 sacks. And in the last 3 weeks, I think it was actually 5, 6, and 7 sacks that the Chargers defense have generated. It's been an overall complete team success. I'm loving it. Now, like I said, we have the next 2 weeks with the Bengals and the Ravens. Big tests coming up, but Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter, Greg Roman have that team ready to go, and they
Mm-hmm.
will continue to be one of the more consistent teams in the NFL. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was a big win. Your defense is unreal. So I feel like it doesn't take too much to for the offense doesn't have to do too much or score too many points to be winning a lot of games. But
Right.
yeah.
And when they get opportunities that the defense and that present them,
Mm-hmm.
they're capitalizing on that as well. And you have somebody like Cameron Dicker out there. I know in the last couple of weeks there have been a couple misses, but one of the most consistent kickers out there. Yeah, overall great performance. And there was a TSN turning point there right before half where it was called on the field, fumble, return for a touchdown from the Titans. And after further review, Herbie, Beast Herbert, as Harbaugh said, he was able to hold on during that attempt at strip sack and carry the motion forward, therefore making it an incomplete pass. Correct call, correct overturn. But that absolutely just took the gas out of the Titans and revived the Chargers to keep going and thrive throughout the rest of that game.
Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty crazy play for him to hold on to that ball too. So
He's a beast, man. He really is. Like
yeah,
his
he's awesome.
stature, what he, 6'6", 245.
Mhm.
That guy is an absolute tank. Harbaugh has unlocked something out of him this season where he's out there and he's showing a heck of a lot more emotion out there. He's showboating. He's fist pumping out there. He's getting the team riled up. He's leading the way. It's a fun season to watch Justin Herbert.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Even though he's not going to be throwing for 4,000, 5,000 yards, but and he also beat out Drew Brees for the second longest streak of attempts without an interception in this game.
Right?
And
Yes,
he
yes,
also
yes.
has first place.
Yeah.
But he's still keeping the streak alive, so he's protecting the ball well, and you can even with interceptions, but also with that crazy non-strip sack. That was a crazy way to hold on to the ball. So good for him.
Yeah, yeah. No interception since week 2,
Crazy.
and that's a next level. That's the next level of his game that he's really showing us right now, where he's protecting the football, he's being smart. But another part that he's showing us is those QB designed runs.
Yeah,
He's
that was
coming
weird.
out there, everybody's making the call, Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson. No way am I comparing the two in their rushing ability. But the fact that they throw a little bit in there now and then, I think it makes sense. Herbert can move. We've seen it. He's like we've talked, he's strong, he can stiff arm.
Hmm.
He showed a few jukes this game. So he's turning into potentially an overall quite well-rounded QB
Hmm.
with some rushing upside.
Yeah,
Who
he's
knows what's
awesome.
going to happen? We're going to need him to do all of it, all the bells and whistles for the next 4 games, actually. Falcons and Chiefs after that, too. But enough of that. We'll get to that at a later date. Stingy Vikings hold clawless Jags. Yes, yes, yes. The Vikings get another dub. Brandon, but 12-7. What
Yeah,
happened?
12-7 wasn't great. So this is one of those games that was quite similar to the game before against the Colts, in which I think we had like 36 minutes time of possession to 23 minutes, and it was just like we dominated everywhere, but it didn't relate to the scoreboard. And this was exactly the same, even more extreme. You can look, I can tell you now that we had our season high in time of possession with 42 minutes. 42
Really?
minutes out of 60 minutes. So 42-19, which means they had 17, what is that, 41?
Yeah.
That's nothing. They had no time because our defense was
That's
out
with
there.
Sam Darnold's 3 picks.
Dude, it's crazy. It's not only 3 picks. Okay, so season high total time of possession, season high total offensive plays at 82, nearly reached the season best yards at 400 yards of offense and 28 first downs. So those are staggering offensive numbers. Those are numbers that you go, damn, they scored 35 points. But we scored 12.
Yes. Yeah.
We scored 12. And thank God we had John Parker Romo, new kicker coming in for Will Reichard, come in and kick 4 for 4, which was amazing, which were all of our points. It was, like this headline here is, we crushed the Jags. They had 143 yards, which they did. We had 402, but we only won by 5 points. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's kind of, the last game was what could go wrong. Okay, that's going to happen. This game was that to, times 5. It was painful. It didn't make me feel good, but we're 7-2, right? Like, you can't complain about being 7-2, but you can look at these 3 interceptions, all targeting Justin Jefferson, which is an issue that he's had in the past, just kind of, which is a strange issue. We talked about it, though. It's like you do that, right? You throw more balls to him than you should because he's going to make those plays. But the Jags did a great job just doubling him the entire game. If you watch it over, Jordan Addison is open everywhere. But the ball is being thrown to JJ or Hawk. And Hawk had 9 receptions, I believe, too. Great game coming up for him. He was great for third downs. It was weird because our offense, like, Sam was dicing him up, and then there's an interception in the end zone, and then he's dicing him up, and then there's an interception in the end zone. So it's kind of, the Jags use the bend don't break strategy of, we'll give it up, we'll give them yards, something will happen, and they'll screw it up, which is what happened time and time again. So unfortunate for Sam Darnold. Other than those 3 plays, he looked really great. Just those 3 plays happened to be catastrophic.
Yeah, you've got all the weapons, right? I know JJ is going to get his, and you definitely funnel more to him. But Hawk's getting back into the picture, warming back up after bad injury. But like you say, Jordan Addison's open as well. You gotta trust that your number 2 is out there, and we all know Jalen Naylor as well. Like Aaron Jones out of the backfield. Cam Akers getting a few more weeks under his belt to get back into the system.
Yeah, he looked pretty good.
Like right, and so those 3 interceptions, Sam Darnold could be looking elsewhere, and I get it. You want JJ to get his, but I think he's gonna adjust. I think Kevin O'Connell's got him 7-2 record now. Hey, let's sit back, let's relax, let's play our game. Play our game. All right?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll get it moving. But yeah, 7-2 is not a bad place to be. What about this, Quinn?
No. Ooh, yeah. Let's move on to the 49ers and the Buccaneers. 49ers get the walk-off win against the Buck with Jake Moody finally coming through. This 49ers star, Deebo Samuel, ended up choking out the long snapper, roughing up Jake Moody because he had 3 missed field goals. Second week back from his injury. The frustrations, wild that you go and you choke out one of your teammates. Like,
yeah, that was
insane.
So what came out today, maybe yesterday, was that Kyle Shanahan came out and was like, man, I don't remember the long snapper's name. He got a little too chippy from Deebo just challenging Jake to be better. And I was like, Oh, okay. So, yeah, that long snapper, F that long snapper, dude. Well, how could he do that? Like that's the
He
sentiment that
deserves
Kyle
to get
Shanahan put
choked.
out, which is very strange because you get physical with another teammate on the sideline. That's very bad. Yeah, they're chippy and they're getting, let's say Debo did just, hey, man, you got to be better, blah, blah, blah. And then the other guy comes out and is out of line and is, more chippy back in defense of Jake Moody. You still don't put hands on the guy. So
No.
it was strange to see Kyle Shanahan defend the what looked to be the aggressor of the situation. You know what I mean? Or the
Yeah.
escalator, at least.
It is especially one of your star players.
Yeah,
Not only
be
are you
better. A
supposed to
captain.
be, yeah, exactly right. You're not just performing on the field and being the best that you can be out there, but you are out there as a role model as well. How you should be acting in the public eye, right? This
Mhm.
is this is a spectator sport, and yeah, Debo knows he's not going to do it again. They got the W. He choked out the win from
There you
Moody, and
go.
Moody walk off. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
What about
Here we
this one?
go.
Lions.
Bad QB play number 2 leads to an incredible comeback victory. But let's just think about this. 5 interceptions
Yeah.
that Jared Goff had. I also read that was it last week that the Bengals lost with Joe Burrow's 5 touchdown passes, and somehow the Lions go to 8-1 with ints from Goff to beat the Texans, who now fall to 6-4.
Hmm. Yeah, and they were
That
down
team,
by over 50, or by 15 points or something like that at
15
one point.
points in the third, yeah, 15 points
Ridiculous.
deficit in the third, and you're able to come back.
No second half
That
points for the Texans.
juggernaut of a team the Lions have.
I know.
Like this is actually it's scary when you think you've got them down because they've been dominating their opponents the last few weeks, and then the Texans holding a lead for quite almost the entire game, and the Lions still come back after a terrible performance from Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Um, wow.
I was so sad. I was like, oh shoot, we're both gonna be 7-2. Like they'll still have the win over us
Tiebreaker right
and
now, right?
be first place, but that's just we're just a half game behind essentially, right? And ooh, I was so excited, and then that kick goes in. It was actually really sad. That was a
Yeah.
big one. It was a good Sunday night football game though. It was a really really good
Yeah,
Sunday night football game.
Jake Bates 52-yarder
Yeah,
to seal the
squeaked
deal.
in,
Just
squeaked in.
squeak. Yeah, right. Oh God.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
and
then we
then
had another nail biter,
yeah,
right?
and another win that comes down to a quarterback there. Good play from this
Yes.
quarterback. Good. I don't know. I don't know if it's play, but there was an awesome reaction to see Russell Wilson go down, fake out the 4th-and-1 snap, boom, get the guy the jump offside, and he just fist pumps the air, and he's so happy, and he's
Yeah,
dancing, doing his thing.
he knew. He's
He's
like,
never that animated, man. He looked like he, obviously really wanted that win, but he showed the emotion. I really liked it. And such a beautiful thing to end the game on if you're a Steelers fan. Sucks on the other
oh yeah,
side, but as a Steelers fan, that was really really good. Sucks for the Commanders, but be better.
yeah.
You can't jump on that.
Incredible. Jaden Daniels showed a little bit of his mortal side when it came to the game.
Yeah.
A few mistakes, but again, you're up against that Steelers defense. We all know how tough they are. Mike Tomlin, what a coach! Bringing the
What a coach.
Steelers to 7-2. Commanders go to 7-3.
Mhm.
Both teams are in prime position to be making the postseason here. On top of all of it, I got to give a shout out to Mike Williams getting his first touchdown as a Steeler for one of
Yeah.
those Russ Moon balls.
Those are his bread and butter too, like Mike Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a Mike
Yeah.
Williams
That's
catch right
what.
there.
Yeah, get them up there. Those are going to turn into, we call them, like 70-30 balls,
Mhm.
60-40 balls. It was never a 50-50 with Mike
Mhm.
Williams. And the way that Russ and that offense is utilizing the moon ball again, I think Mike Williams has a chance to make some noise across from George Pickens. Steelers looking dangerous. Looking dangerous.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Let's not spend too much time here. But the Chiefs are undefeated.
See,
Chiefs are undefeated. Moved to 9-0.
yeah, but this is what
Denver.
happens. My Lions, or my division rival Lions, make the field goal to win at the very, very end. And then your division rival, the Chiefs, that's sitting at the top of the division, get a blocked field goal? Like, what a miracle play, you know? You have so much time to sit there and be like, don't let them block. Like, they spent a long time before that kick figuring it all out. And it was like they didn't do anything. So it looked like there was like 4 guys who penetrated the line. Like, it was crazy.
Oh, I just watching there. I did not even have a thought in my head that the Chiefs were going to be able to block this. I thought
Maybe
Broncos,
missed kick.
maybe a missed kick.
Yeah.
But like the Broncos look like they're going to give the Chiefs the first loss. Yeah, let's go Broncos. And holy hell, some way, somehow the Chiefs are 9-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tough for the Chargers to catch up. We're 2.5 games back, 3 games back.
But they score 16 and they win. You know what I mean? It's so
16-14, crazy.
I guess we scored 12, so.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, okay. That's the last of the headlines, okay? Here's what we got else. Here's the rest of the games, okay? The Bills dominate the Colts.
Joe Flacco, Magic.
Joe Flacco is gone. Now that he's a starter, he's the Alex Madison. Madison was great when he came in for Cook because Cook got hurt. And then it's like, oh, Cook is out another game, so Madison's going to start. And then he was dog. He was horrible that game. You know, whenever he had to start, he was bad. Albeit he's better this year, but for the Vikings, that's what he was like. So,
right.
Joe Flacco, he's not it. Next, Pats. The Patriots absolutely spanked the Bears.
Bears score 3 points. I get the Patriots defense has been known to be good lately, but they're arguably the worst team in the league, and the Bears throw up that. Well, goodbye, OC Shane Waldron.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, Matt Eberflus should be gone too. Like, it just seems like they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's scapegoat. You gotta figure it out. Caleb Williams. What on earth is happening here? There was even questions: is he going to remain the starter?
Apparently, apparently a bunch of players went up to the coach, GM, whatever, and said they want to change in play caller, and then or coordinator, and also apparently people want Tyler Bagent. Is it Tyler?
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, other players are coming up and saying that they want him to start. So people were voicing that opinion too.
Over Caleb. Ow,
I don't know, man.
Man, as a Vikings fan, fan of the other teams
I'm happy he's
North.
not the guy, but I'm sad for him that he's not the guy, right? Like, it sucks to see a player's dreams, not come to fruition. There's so much time. So much time.
Yeah, when you hear comparisons to Pat Mahomes and that style, and this is the type of player, you don't want that in your division, especially, right?
No.
And so if he ends up being like a good quarterback and there's going to be a good back and forth rivalry, sure, fine, absolutely. We want these players to succeed. We do not want a Patrick Mahomes in our division. No way,
definitely.
no how.
Next, the Eagles and the Sun defeat the Cowboys.
Sun.
The biggest enemy of all.
That is right.
Yeah.
Worse than the dreaded referee.
Cooper Rush, non-factor. Kind of the whole team non-factor. I know Micah Parsons came out, looked pretty good, but Eagles just rolled them. The Cowboy season looks to be over.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and Dak today hearing that he will indeed go under the knife for a season-ending surgery. Yeah. Cowboys, wow, not going to continue that 12-5 record in the regular season anymore.
I don't think so. Saints?
Boo.
Saints beat the Falcons?
Hapless Saints beat the Falcons. I don't know. Derek Carr comes back. But Kirk, what? Bijan, what? Drake London, I think got hurt in the game. But anyway,
I think Bijan did pretty well. No, Koo missed a kick.
He did decently well himself, but I don't know what happened. I mean, it's division rivalry. That's what happened.
Yeah, Kuhn
Right?
missed a kick as well at one point. Late, like a few minutes left in the fourth. I feel like,
Yeah.
which sucked. Uh,
Huge miss snap. Like center, it went over Kirk's head, I believe. Like one of the last few plays.
hmm,
That made it a huge down in distance with I don't know, like 30 seconds left in the game.
yeah.
Brutal.
The Giants lose in OT to the Panthers.
To the Panthers
Yeah.
in London.
Bryce Young
Yikes!
doesn't look
Tyrone
that bad.
Tracy fumbles. Yeah, the
Danny
Giants are
Dimes.
supposed to be better
Yeah,
than the Panthers.
yeah. But Danny
Um,
Dimes looked horrible. He was bad. I was defending him a couple weeks ago to a friend of mine, and I was watching the game being like, ooh, I don't know why I was saying that stuff. And then that guy texted me right away and was like, ooh, I don't know, man. And I was like, I was just thinking about this. This guy is bad. And apparently, well, I think Schefter came out and said, from what he's hearing, this is the last game that Danny Dimes is going to be playing in New York. Sorry, for the Giants. So whatever they got planned, I think they got a bye this week, and then coming out of that, maybe no Danny Dimes over there.
Oof. Ryan Tannehill, get my boy Malik Neighbors some balls
Right,
thrown to
Tannehill.
him.
He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
Last
yep,
game,
yep.
the Dolphins beat the Rams, despite
Mhm.
Tua taking a knee to the head like an idiot.
God. Oh, and I didn't mean to tackle him with my head. Tua, I don't know what is going on, but it's just like a magnet. Any
Hmm.
type of blunt force trauma to the head of Tua, and it's sad to see. It's scary to see.
Well,
Um,
and this stuff happens to players all the time, but when it happens to it's so highlighted. But it seems like it's happening all the time, like to hit like it happens to players every week, but not the same
yep,
player every week. You know what I mean? And it's just happening to this guy. Like you said, it's just a magnet. So it's unfortunate.
100%, 100%. Hey, at least he seems to be okay. But there
Yes.
we go. Dolphins beat the Rams. Battle of the Washington Redskins staffers.
There you
And I'm
go.
only saying that because it was them at the
Mm,
time.
mm-hmm.
But here we have, that's it, week 10. And this is what we have for the playoff picture here in the AFC. First seed going to the Chiefs, of course. Second, Bills. Third, Steelers. Fourth, Texans. Those are your division leaders. With the wild cards, 5, the Ravens. 6, Chargers. And 7, Broncos. Over in the NFC, number 1, the Lions. 2, Eagles. 3, Falcons. 4, Cardinals. And then we have the wild cards, 5, the Vikings. 6, Commanders. 7 for the Packers there. Week 10's in the books. What a wild week of football. That was a
Crazy.
lot of fun. A lot of fun. But if you're with us, thank you so much. If you are a fan of the NFL, we appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, hitting that notification bell, as it really does help us out. All right, Brandon, send us off.
Yes, it does. It helps a lot. Everybody, Skol Bolts. I messed it up. Skol Bolts.
Skol Bolts.
Okay. Peace.